Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Pizza Brandon, and welcome to a video that is long overdue, and a lot of you guys might finally be making a sigh of relief saying thank you, it's about time, because it really is about time. Around November of last year, I made a video on my own resource pack called Black Diamond Edit of Blocksmith Hybrid. It was a very interesting resource pack, and I decided to make my own little twist on it and even turn it into black diamonds. My original resource pack was created on February of last year, so this has been overdue for about maybe around a year and a half, but better late than never. This is my 1.9 and 1.10 update to the resource pack, and before we go ahead and get into things, some of you guys might already know about this pack. We made very minor detail, or I made very minor details to the pack to actually update it, but a couple things that are noteworthy. But if you haven't seen the resource pack at all, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a rundown of everything that you need to know about it. Couple things though, before we go ahead and get started. The first thing is I want to say thank you guys. The original Black Diamond resource pack actually reached a total of 170,000 downloads. That blows my mind. 170,000 downloads on my Black Diamond resource pack from 1.8. So I really do hope you guys enjoy this one. The second thing I want you to know is that you will need Optifine and Lively Default, all of which the downloads will be in the description if you want to run this. And really fast, once you've installed Optifine, go to Options, Video Settings, Quality, and then you'll see an option here called Connected Textures. You want to have this enabled, otherwise a lot of the animated textures on here will not work. I'm not necessarily sure why you need this, but it's needed. So if you don't have Optifine, this entire resource pack may not work correctly. But apart from that, I also want to say one more thing, that the majority of this resource pack does belong to Blocksmith Hybrid. He gave me explicit permission to redistribute this pack under my name with reference to him and his own readme. And there are a few other textures that have been taken from other resource packs. So with this said, this is not my own pack, and I do not claim ownership of anything aside from some black diamond textures. But apart from that though, I'm not distributing this pack as my own thing. I'm purely doing it so you guys can use what I use, but please let you know that I do not take credit for any of the materials in here. Even if I made it, I still don't take credit for it, because just it was used off a couple of the resources. Not too many. Most of it's from vanilla Minecraft or Blocksmith, but for the few textures that are used from other things like Faithful and a couple of things I can't remember, I do not claim ownership. Just want to throw it out right now. Don't worry, we'll ignore all that. So anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the video, and I'll show you guys about the resource pack. The main point of this resource pack is to animate Minecraft's default textures, and Blocksmith Hybrid did a fantastic job. Let's go ahead and showcase all the changes that were made. The glowstone item and glowstone block both have a pulsating hue in and out to symbolize light. Looks very nice. The nether items, netherrack bleeds, as well as soul sand actually moves like souls. Little creepy, but looks very, very cool in the nether, especially when bunched up in large groups. This may be a vanilla Minecraft texture, but sea lanterns pulsate in and out in a ring. Looks a little dirty, but still, it's animated, so I thought I'd go and show you guys. The redstone lamp pulsates in and out just like the glowstone does to symbolize light. Very cool. For the torches, the redstone and a normal torch, what you'll need to do is go into Options, Video Settings, and Animations, and make sure that you have particles set to all or at least decreased, or you will not be able to see this. Redstone torches have a redstone pulsation coming out of the top, and the torches actually have physical fire surrounding it. This looks really cool in caves. Normal furnaces have no change to them, but when they're turned on, they have a fire particle coming out of the front, as well as the normal vanilla texture of it burning in the front there. Very cool addition by Blocksmith. Really love that one. The rails over here, the powered and activated rails, both are animated in their own ways, of course pulsating or moving depending on which they are. This may also be a vanilla texture, but the beacon does pulsate in and out. Looks really cool, but even if it's not Blocksmith Hybrid, it's still worth noting because it is animated. Now, my favorite one personally is the jukebox. So when there's no disc inside the jukebox, you can see it's a very empty little ring around here. But when you actually put a music disc in, it fully animates it, makes it spin around, and of course when you go ahead and pop the music disc out, it'll stop. It looks like it actually pops out from the top, which is really sweet. Jack-o'-lanterns pulsate in and out to go ahead and show light, as well as TNT has a little fuse that lights up with fire. Really cool addition. Black diamond armor is now a thing with horses. This is diamond armor reskinned. I went with a little bit of a purplish theme, which I'll go ahead and show you why in a second. Diamonds are black. They also have a bit of a shine to them. The enchant table as well has black hues and a little bit darker of an outline in general. Looks really cool. And this is my favorite thing about the resource pack. The black complemented with the purple hues for enchanting. This is what normal black diamond armor looks like. With enchants, this is what it looks like in yourself, and I think It's just a really cool combination. The vanilla Minecraft enchant hue has not been changed whatsoever, purely complementary, and looks really nice. This is what the armor looks like on horses, by the way. Oh, it's so good. All of the ores and valuable blocks have had to change to them as well. Most of them shine or shimmer depending on the item, as well as they have a little bit of an animation on the ores themselves. The actual physical blocks mostly do a shine. With redstone, it's a little bit different. You'll notice that the redstone ore actually powers like electricity. This looks really cool in caves, and the redstone block also pulsates instead of shining, and the redstone item does that as well. This is the black diamond itself. Black diamonds, you would think these actually aren't that hard to spot in caves. It's just a little bit confusing because you might get it confused with coal. However, just look out for the white and you'll be able to tell them apart pretty easily, I'd say. The iron does not actually have any sort of animation, at least just the iron ore, because it'd be a little bit weird if iron ore had an animation. So that's that, as well as the iron block does not have a shimmer as well. However, the iron item itself does have a shimmer. Why? Yeah, I don't really know. Water, lava, and milk buckets all spill out. It's all, I mean, don't cry over spilled milk, but you might cry over the fact that lava might burn your hand. I don't really know why this is spilling out. It seems a little bit dangerous to me, but those are the changes made to the buckets. This is my own tiny little change that I made myself. I went ahead and styled my face onto a slime ball. Ender pearls, ender eyes, as well as the ender eyes in the actual ender frame, all are animated. The ender pearl spirals in like a vortex style. Personally, one of my favorites, really cool. And then the ender eyes are obviously a little bit creepy with that blink right over there. Nether stars look like something out of Sonic. They will spin in that formation no matter where they are. Eggs, they try and hatch. They're never going to, unfortunately, but it looks really cool, especially in your hand too. You can kind of see the cracking formation on there. Blaze rods and blaze powder have their own texture designs. This is one of my favorites. It looks so good, in my opinion. Again, shears, they chomp up a little bit. I feel like it should have been done a while ago. Fishes all do their little spins, no matter if they're raw or if they're... Well, actually, no, sorry. These are the raw ones. The cooked ones obviously don't move. That'd be a little weird. So all the raw fish do kind of act like they're still alive, because they obviously are. The pufferfish animation is my favorite. Just wait for it. It's so cute. It's actually so cute. And of course, it does show that in your little hand right there, and it'll grow like that. This is one of my favorites, if not for the ender pearl and other things. Blocksmith, that was a hilarious job on there. Potatoes also have a little bit of smoke coming out of the cut through them. Rotten flesh has flies around it. I feel like this was needed. Like, I don't know why it wouldn't have flies around it in the first place. Signs have a little bit of an interesting texture, how they're actually being written while you hold them. You know, it's a pretty good addition. Now, this here is not an anime texture, and it's not from Blocksmith. These are from Faithful's edit. And again, like I said before, I don't claim ownership of any of this. I did not give him permission to redistribute this as my own pack. That's why I'm not. I'm just letting you guys know this is Faithful stuff. I personally think it looks really cool for tools, and I've just always been a big fan of Faithful. I think it's kind of needed. Same with the arrows drawn. Those are Faithful as well. So big shouts to Faithful for making this look good. And I did retexture over the diamond tools, like the sword, the shield, not the shield, the sword, the axe, the shovel, all those guys from Faithful over to black. So again, not my product, but still really well done by Faithful. For the environment, the leaves actually do move. This is not part of a shader pack. This is just how it looks in the actual game. And you can see right here, this is how it looks in the world. It's not too dramatic, so it shouldn't really give you a headache, but it is a very nice touch in my opinion. You go ahead and go over here. The flowers actually are all moving, except for the 1.8 flowers, if there are any still existing. The tall flowers do not move either. The saplings do not move. And this is a bit of a weird one. The cobwebs are supposed to have spiders running through them, even with connected textures turned on. This for some reason does not work, and I'm really not sure why. If there's some sort of, I don't know, it just doesn't work. But if you get it to work where there's spiders coming across the cobwebs, you know a secret that none of us do, and please leave it down in the comments if you know what that is, because I personally have no idea. Our pack does include low fire, which again is not part of mine, Blocksmith, Faithfuls, or any of those guys, so I'm not claiming ownership of it whatsoever. But this is what it looks like when you actually do catch on fire. Very out of your way. Although this isn't a PvP pack, it is really nice for PvP, and it just doesn't take up most of your screen. So let's be honest, I think that's a huge perk. And the final thing I have to show show you guys about Blocksmith Hybrids texture pack is that the animals actually do have naturally spawning different textures to them. So chickens, when you spawn them in, they can either be white, gray, or black tone chickens. With the pigs, there are two types. There's the normal pig and a little bit of a lighter tone pig. Looks really cool. And then this was a little change that I made myself. Only one of them, and you can probably tell what that is. For zombies, there are 4 different textures. One of them normally being a normal zombie. The second texture being a zombie with a little bit of a chunk out of his heart. That's not actually where his heart would go, but there's a chunk out of somewhere in his chest. You also have the ability to spawn in a Herobrine, however you want to pronounce it. That's just a naturally spawning thing. It happens whenever. And you also have the chance to spawn in your own little Pete. This is, of course, not a weird NPC. It's a zombie. It will kill you, so don't try and give me a hug. I don't see why you'd want to, but if you see one of these guys walking around, they may look cuddly, but please take a sword to its face. It will try and kill you. And then, of course, for horses over here, I went ahead and showed you guys. Horses are normal, same attributes, same types, same colors, whatever it may be in vanilla Minecraft, but this is what the diamond horse armor looks like. Went ahead and went with a purple theme to match the purple hue of an enchanted armor piece, and I personally think it looks really cool. That right there is the entire texture pack in a wrap. I don't think that I missed anything, and if I have, you guys can go ahead and point it out in the comments. Downloads will be in the description. Like I said before, you must have Optifine installed for a lot of these textures to work. For example, I'll go and show you. If you actually turn off in quality connected textures to straight off, you can see, for example, some of them do work, but like the netherrack, it does not bleed. I don't really know why this is for a lot of the cases, but that's just how it is over here, as well as a little bit of an annoying one. If you don't have it, it's constantly going to look like a disc is spinning, even though there's no disc in there. And if you put a disc in like this and take it out, it's just gonna leave it like that. So I do recommend, and heavily recommend, with that Optifine being installed, connected textures being turned on. As well, like I said before, you will need Lively Default and put that loaded on top of the Blacksmith Hybrid edit. Otherwise, if you go ahead and put it underneath, it unfortunately will only work for some aspects. The sky will work, however, the water will not be crystal clear, and the grass itself, I think actually, to my knowledge, I think it's actually just the water that's not loaded in. But anyways, if you guys want the water and the full experience, be sure to load it in on top of the other resource pack. But apart from that, download links will be in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. In 1.9, 1.10, there's not really a lot of changes. No changes have been made to the 1.10 items, but it does work on 1.10. That's the version we're currently on in the top left, so I figured I'd market it as that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I love you all very much. Glad, once again, 170,000 downloads in like 9 months of the Black Diamond texture pack being uploaded. And also, by the way, for those wondering why exactly Black Diamond was really ever a thing for me, I did a series a little bit back on Skyblock on a server that I played on, and there was a mode on there called Black Diamond. And you know, just to kind of give it a little bit of a humorous feel, I went ahead and edited my texture pack to be black diamonds while I did the Let's Play, and I just continued on with it because personally, I think it looks a lot sleeker and a lot cooler than the normal turquoise colored diamonds that Minecraft usually has. So that's where the texture pack came from. Of course, you guys go ahead and download the old texture pack if you just go ahead and search up my resource pack, my texture pack, whatever it may be. Oh, also, the one thing I forgot to mention too is that with the actual hitbox indicators, you can see in the bottom right over there, it's a purple hue. So I went ahead and changed that. That also, you know, commemorates the whole purple and black combination with the actual enchanted hues over here. And if you go ahead and change the video settings to attack indicator for the crossbar, you can, or crosshair, I should say, you can see it's green when looking at items and a bit of a blackish hue when looking up. It's a bit more opaque, or not opaque rather, a bit more transparent, because personally, I feel you're going to learn how to PvP pretty quickly once you use this, and it's not too in the way or obtrusive if you do want to always use it. So that's my little touch right there. But apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, and I'll catch you back tomorrow for a normal Minecraft video. Ciao!